Have you ever remembered something so vividly, only to find out it never happened the way you recall? Perhaps you remembered a childhood event, or a dream that seemed so real, it left an indelible mark on your subconscious. Then years later, when you try to recount that experience, you realize the details are fuzzy, the faces are blurred, and with a sinking feeling, you understand that the memory you're so sure of never really happened. You might have mixed up the people involved, the time, the place, or worse, it may have been a figment of your imagination. These lapses in memory happen to all of us. We misplace items, forget names, confuse one event with another. Sometimes it can be embarrassing, inconvenient, even frustrating, but usually it doesn't cause much else except maybe a mild annoyance. But what if it's not just a faulty memory? What if it's evidence of something far more extraordinary and even terrifying? What if it's proof that we're reliving in a world that's constantly shifting and changing without our knowledge? A world where parallel universes are colliding and realities are merging. This might sound like the plot of a science fiction movie, but it is actually a serious scientific theory that has been gaining traction among some of the brightest minds in the field. They call it the Mandela Effect, named after the former South African president Nelson Mandela, who, according to some people, died in prison in 1988, 27 years before he was actually released. These people aren't crazy. They're not misremembering things. They are remembering an alternate version of history, a version that never really happened. Or did he? The Mandela Effect isn't just about memories, though. It's also about shared memories. Memories that are so vivid and detailed they seem like they must be true, but which turn out to be completely false. For example, millions of people around the world all remember watching the same episode of The Simpsons in which the family is awoken by a massive earthquake only to find that the next morning, everything is covered in snow. Except such an episode was never made. There are dozens of similar examples, and scientists and theorists have been trying to figure out why. One of the most popular theories is that these false memories are evidence of parallel universes. According to this theory, every time we make a decision, our universe splits into multiple parallel universes, each representing a different outcome. For example, when you wake up in the morning, one version of you gets out of bed while another remains asleep. As time goes on, these parallel universes continue to diverge until they are vastly different from each other. In some versions of our universe, we are still in bed. In others, we've already eaten breakfast. In some, we have traveled the world. In others, we've stayed home. This theory suggests that these parallel universes exist simultaneously, but we can only perceive one of them at a time. However, occasionally, the membranes between these universes are thin enough to allow us to glimpse the other realities. When this happens, we experience what scientists call a quantum leap, a sudden shift in consciousness that allows us to access memories from a parallel universe. These memories may be vivid and detailed because they come from an alternate version of ourselves who lived those experiences in that universe. But what does this mean for our understanding of reality? Is it possible that the world we think we know is actually nothing but a series of shifting realities? Are we constantly jumping from one universe to the next? Are we forever trapped in a quantum multiverse? These questions have kept scientists and theorists up at night. Some believe that the Mandela Effect is proof of parallel universes, while others argue that there is another explanation. One alternative theory is that these false memories are simply the result of human error. Our memories are not perfect. They are shaped by our beliefs, expectations, and biases. We tend to remember things that confirm our beliefs and forget those that don't. This is known as confirmation bias. It's also possible that we are simply misremembering events or confusing them with other events. Our memories are not like video clips that can be replayed exactly as they happened. They are more like stories that we tell ourselves. Over time, these stories can change and evolve until they become something entirely different from the original experience. However, there is a third and perhaps even more disturbing possibility. Some believe that these false memories are evidence of something far more sinister, a malevolent force that is deliberately trying to deceive us. This may sound far-fetched, but there are some unsettling facts that make this theory difficult to dismiss. For example, many of these false memories involve significant historical events. For example, people who believe that Nelson Mandela died in prison in 1988 often cite specific news articles and media reports that they say support their claim. But when researchers have gone back to check these sources, they have found that they never existed. There are no news articles or media reports that say Mandela died in 1988. They simply do not exist. How can so many people all remember reading about an event that never happened? Another troubling fact is that these false memories are often shared by people who have no connection to each other. This suggests that there may be a collective element to the Mandela Effect, a sort of mass hypnosis that is affecting large groups of people. This is especially disturbing when it comes to memories of traumatic events. For example, many people around the world remember a global nuclear attack that wiped out most of the planet, but when they try to piece together the details of the event, they find that they are hazy at best. Some remember a mushroom cloud over New York City. Others see a bright flash over the Pacific Ocean. Still, others believe that it all happened in Europe, but no one can agree on the specifics, and no one can find any evidence that such an attack ever took place. This raises the question, are we being deliberately kept in the dark about something? Is there a powerful entity that is controlling our memories and keeping us from knowing the truth? Or is there something even more terrifying at play? Something that threatens the very fabric of our existence. Some theorists believe that the Mandela Effect is evidence of a higher power or a malevolent intelligence that is manipulating our reality. This may sound like a far-out conspiracy theory, but it's not as crazy as it seems. In fact, there are some scientific theories that support the idea that our reality is being manipulated. One of the most popular theories is that we are living in a simulation. This means that our entire universe is nothing but a computer-generated hologram, and that we are nothing but digital avatars trapped inside of it. This may sound like a science fiction trope, but it's actually a serious scientific theory that's been gaining traction in recent years. In fact, a survey of physicists found that more than half believe that we are living in a simulation. But what does this mean? If we are living in a simulation, who is running it and why? Some believe that the Mandela Effect is evidence of a higher intelligence that is deliberately trying to deceive us. This intelligence could be a malevolent force that is keeping us from knowing the truth about our existence. Or it could be something more benign, a kind of cosmic game maker that is testing us to see if we can figure out that we are in a simulation. Of course, there is no evidence to support this theory. But then again, there is no evidence to support any of the theories that attempt to explain the Mandela Effect. The truth is, we simply do not know what is causing these strange lapses in memory. But what we do know is that they are happening more frequently and becoming more intense. This raises the question, what does this mean for our future? Will these lapses in memory become more frequent and more disruptive? Or will they eventually stop altogether? No one knows for sure. But one thing is certain, the Mandela Effect is a fascinating phenomenon that has captured the attention of scientists, theorists, and the general public alike. Whether it is proof of parallel universes, human error, or something more sinister, it is clear that we are living in a world that is far more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. As we continue to explore the depths of the human mind and the vastness of the universe, we may uncover even more disturbing truths about the nature of reality and our place in it. Until then, we can only wonder what other secrets are hidden from our perception, and what other unsettling memories will surface from the depths of our subconscious. The Mandela Effect may be one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time, but it also offers us a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that exist beyond our everyday reality. Who knows what other wonders and mysteries await us in the multiverse? Perhaps the true adventure lies not in exploring distant galaxies, but in delving into the depths of our own minds and confronting the unsettling truth that our reality may not be as solid and stable as we once believed. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.